Hello everyone, it's Grizz. We're back again, back for some more fun in the garage with the Hayabusa. So, today's project is this Akrapovic end can. Akrapovic, yeah, however you want to pronounce it. Basically, I'm going to fix this up as it is without spending any money on it other than the bits I've got over here. I'll show you what I've got. Let me show you. Right, so here we have it. Here's everything I'm going to use. I've got some straps to replace the broken ones that are on the exhaust. They're all broken up and need replacing. I've got some rivets. I've got a riveter, a block of wood and a hammer. So I'm thinking I can hammer out these dents. A couple of stickers. The stickers actually cost £5.99 off eBay. The straps are BSAU stamped, so it makes it road legal. Those were £15 on eBay. I've got some black satin paint from my kind of Copus collection of old paint that I've got sat here, and a bit of lacquer, a load of wet and dry sandpaper, so maybe I can sand out and lose some of these scratches. They're not showing a lot of them on the camera, but there's a lot of scratches going down this exhaust. Yeah, and I'm thinking for the paint, I can paint up this carbon fibre and get it looking a bit more like it used to. Got a bunch of drills for drilling out the rivets and obviously a drill. So the whole idea behind this exhaust is basically that I'm on lockdown, or we're on lockdown should I say, and on reduced pay. In an ideal world really I would just be replacing this, but they are super expensive exhausts to buy and I don't have the money for it. Yes, I could reskin it, I could change the skin, I could put a real cheapo skin on it. I don't want to do that. A, I can't afford it right now. B, this is nice titanium, it's super light. I know it looks a bit rubbish, but it is what it is basically. So basically, yeah, my funds are not allowing me to kind of do anything more than what I'm going to do now. So this isn't a real like DIY, how to fix your broken exhaust. This is Grizz is on lockdown and I want to make it look a bit nicer before I put it back on the bike. Will I keep it like this? Will I buy another one in the future? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how good a job we can make of it. Yeah, I mean, I have in the past also repaired an end can before completely with new tips and stuff, and made it all look brand new. Have a look on my playlist, you'll find an Akrapovic can repair that I've done previously if you're wanting to see more so how to do that. The other option with this exhaust is to flip it over and use this side and then take off both ends and put them the other way around, but you'll still have the damage showing on both sides, if you get what I mean, and I'll show you later on in the video. And the other thing is as well, I'll have this dirty great big join showing, and then I'll have to put like stickers all over there or something, I don't know. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but we'll have a look at it. I'll take it apart and stick it together and see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's get on with it and see if we can make a really nice bodgy job of fixing this exhaust up. I think first things first, I'm going to get the drill out and drill these rivets out. So yeah, a little bit of fast forwarding camera work. Right, that's all the rivets out. They took quite a bit of doing actually, but they're out. You've got to drill it out and then push the kind of remainder of the rivet kind of in, and all the bits that you've drilled off are now sitting on the inside there, but you can hear them a bit. Now, the removal of these tips isn't exactly easy. This tip I think might come off easy, but this might be a real pain. So I'm going to have a little go. I've got a rubber mallet, and I'm just going to kind of hit the tip of it here and hold it and see if I can get it to move a bit. Akrapovic. So, ooh, and there's all the ends of the rivets and the stuffing. So we got that bit, but on the other end, I think it's a very different story. Here she comes. Well, we've got the whole flipping thing. Didn't really want that. I just want the tip. I was hoping to get the tip off so I could bash it out. Bash out the tip. Oh well. Right, so that's apart. Now I'm going to clean it up a bit. Get a bit of brake cleaner on and just get all this kind of dirtiness off. And let's see if I can clean the sleeve up a bit, remove the stickers, and decide what to do. Okay, clean up. Someone clearly did not pay attention. It says remove before use. Now I've got to remove it. Oh look, this one's coming off lovely jubbly. Oh look, yum. Right, so that sticker's removed. I think I'm gonna flip it around that way, and I'm gonna get some wet and dry on it and see if I can blend in this line just a little bit more. And yeah, we use it that way around. I'm gonna use some wet and dry sandpaper on here as well and clean that up. And the end tip, I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on that now. A little bit of black paint, nothing fancy, and just basically lose that kind of brownness colour. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on. Just thinking like just a thin coat with some lacquer on top. Just sort it out. If you just squint when you look at it, you know, just don't look at it with your eyes open, it'll look fine. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Gosh, we get a bit of colour from the opposite side. It's a proper bodge job. Right, I'm gonna let that set. Come back to it. Put some lacquer on it. Let's sand down the exhaust. See if I can make it look a bit better. Right, interesting development. Silly me, I totally forgot. I got paste for metal polishing and different types of wheels and all these things. I used this years ago on the Fireblade for polishing the frame and all the aluminium like we used to many years ago. So yeah, power tool time. I'm going to have a go, see if I can lose some of these bigger scratches, because I think if I try to sand this seam along here, it's going to be a massive amount of work and I'll still be left with the seam basically. Doesn't matter how much you polish that, you'll be left with a seam. So I think lose those scratches. Let's have a go. Power tool time. Right, another day on. I've been doing a bunch of polishing and sanding And yeah, this is the kind of finish I've got. I've kind of lost the main of the actual scratches, which is great, but it's really difficult, I don't know if you could really see it on the video, for me to get a nice even kind of buffing, polishing of this metal. Yeah, it all ends up a little bit, as you can see, kind of bumpy, almost wavy. So what I'd done on the opposite side was this. I chucked some wet and dry sandpaper 800 grit on there, and I think that's a bit better a finish than kind of this. So I think I'm going to concentrate on the whole of the can now and try and make it look not like that, more like that. Right, I've gone through a bunch of wet and dry, finishing off with a bunch of 1200 grit, and I've just covered this in some just metal polish auto sol. And let's have a look at the finish we've got. So I'm going to just buff off this auto sol. This is, I think, probably going to be the end result now. Right, I think that will do. It's not absolute perfection, but it's not bad. Once the straps are on and stickers are on and this exhaust clamp is back on, you won't see that dent on the top, but it's definitely better. Not perfect, but I'm not going to let, as I was saying to someone yesterday, I'm not going to let perfection get in the way of good, and I think that's good enough. So let's do the rest. Right, I've attacked it now with the grinder, with that round wheel, as you just saw. And yeah, now I'm going to move on to some sandpaper just to see if I can lose a bit more of this. But I'm going to have to be careful. If I go too deep with that grinding wheel, there's a great chance I could actually just go right through the metal, because it's not exactly super thick. So I'm going to go on to sandpaper, start off with a bit of 240. I've raced ahead again. So what have I done? I've worked on this end part of the exhaust. I couldn't get inside the exhaust to knock this dent out, which was a real shame. I'm sure there is a way of doing it. I'm sure I could have undone all the packing, all the wadding inside that exhaust, and then got to it and got it apart and knocked it out. But I don't want to spend on this exhaust buying new packing or trying to tape it up in some way. So I've left it as it is and polished it up and cleaned it up as it is. And apart from this dent, it's looking really good. All the scratches that were on it have gone. There was a few little kind of indentations from when I put that kind of sanding wheel. I wouldn't be inclined to do that again, but this, you won't see this when the band is on. And you can see it's a little bit kind of not quite the same here. But to be honest, once I've got the stickers on, you're going to be hard pushed to see any damage apart from the obvious one. And then we're going to get the tip on as well, and it's going to be Lovely jubbly. So I'm going to sand this down again, just in that little area, tape it off and start building up some layers of lacquer, but I can't do any of the riveting until this is ready for going on. So this might even take me another couple more days yet. So I'm going to get on with this in the background. This video is going to have to wait, sadly. And in the meantime, in between that, I'm going to get started on the bike. I've done the cleanup, as you've seen up in the last video. I'm going to finish off the little bits of cleaning. I'm not going to record all that. And then I'm going to start putting it together. Right, after a bazillion days of working on this exhaust tip, it's looking like I might have just about covered up the areas of damage by basically taping off just that damaged area and building up lots and lots and lots of layers of lacquer, which has taken quite a long time to harden off. But I think it's ready now for a sand down. So I'm going to give it its final sand down, make it all nice and even, and then start applying the last layers of lacquer to make it look nice. I'm going to use wet and dry paper. Let me show you what I've got. I'm going to start off wet and dry, 240. That'll really kind of kick off the main build up that I've made. Then I'll go a bit more finer onto 400, 800, and I'll finish off with 1200. Then we'll move on to lacquer. Right, let's get it done. Right, it's had its first coat and it's not gone very well. This side looks great. It looks like absolutely fine, perfect. And then the areas that I was worried about, the original areas I was having problems with, has given me a problem. It's hard to see actually on this camera, but the paint, for some reason, in some areas it just kind of pushes off. It doesn't lie flat. It kind of pushes itself away, and then you end up with like a ripple. It looks like I've kind of put too much lacquer on, which to a degree I have, but it also causes this even more exaggerated, looks like a run, you know, in the paint, and like I've put too much on, or the lacquer should I say. So I'm gonna leave it now. That's enough for today. I really want to get this finished so I can get it on the can. I'll have to see how it looks tomorrow and decide what to do. Right peeps, I've had time to think about this. I think actually overall this carbon fibre tip now looks flipping good. Is not A1, it's got some damage. I always knew it was going to show some damage. There's a little bit of a run here as I showed you earlier, but I think overall it's going to look fine on the actual exhaust. You know, this exhaust is by far improved. This big old dent we're not going to lose, so let's get it on. The only thing I would say about any of the things that I used to repair this, I used solid strips. Go back to the beginning of this video and you'll see that these strips didn't have any holes in them. Now it's been an absolute bugger to get them to line up properly. I was using the old strap as a stencil to put the holes, which you would think was in the right place, but they don't marry up exactly because this material is a bit thicker, and yeah, they just don't match up quite right. It was a bit of a pig getting on that strap, and I'm not looking forward to putting on the other strap. Worst case scenario, what I could do in the future is buy a proper Akrapovic strap, but again, this was a cheap fix again. I don't know how cheap they are. These straps with a BSAU to make it road legal was £15 for 2 straps, and I don't know how much the Akrapovic ones would be. Anyway, let's get the tip on, get it riveted, and then I'll show you what it looks like with some stickers on. I never knew it was actually quite so difficult to get your tip in, but bear with me. Wow, that took a lot of getting in. But now I'm gonna line the holes up so I can rivet it. Right, tip is on. I've lined up all the rivet holes more or less, and now I'm gonna get the strap on and using the riveter, and yeah, hopefully it'll go okay. It's together, too much light. Yeah, strap is on. I'll be honest, it was a flipping nightmare. I never like using the riveter, to be honest, and I really should have bought the normal Akrapovic strap, because this was just a nightmare trying to get them to all line up. I did get them to line up. The very last one was too far that way, so I tried to drill away a bit of the end bit and it wound itself around the drill bit. So I didn't catch any of it on camera because I didn't film it, because I find the whole process quite frustrating and I didn't want to be swearing on YouTube. So, but it is on, it's secure, it's not going anywhere, it doesn't look bad. Now I'm going to get the sticker on and make it look like new. Yay. Right, so I've got two stickers. Got this one, which is obviously going to go on. I've got another sticker, it just came with it. I didn't actually order it separately. I was thinking of putting it there. I don't know. Thinking of putting it there. Taffy said to me, leave it off, just put the one on. So I'm going to just put the one on, but if any of you can think of a good place to put that, maybe I should put it on the bike somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Answers on a postcard, re that sticker. But anyway, let's get this one on. Now this is a heat protective one apparently. Hopefully it is. It's got no silver backing, so I'm doubtful about that. It was bought off of eBay. Yes, I know, shouldn't have done it. Anyway, let's get this on nice and straight. Let's make sure that is nice and clean as well. Don't want any fingerprints. Right, at long last, she's finished and ready to go on the bike. I'm really happy with that actually. It's much better than it was when I first started off with, considering the amount of damage that there was on there. So I'm happy with it. I think it's going to look pretty cool on the bike and give a bit of an overall kind of nice finish. Really don't think this is a heat resistant sticker, but it is what it is. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's quite nice, and yeah, I hope you have learned maybe something, maybe how not to do it or something. Yeah, so anyway, join me on the next one when I get the bike together and start getting it looking like a bike again. Thanks for watching everyone, catch you on the next one. Cheers.